Johns Hopkins gives honorary master's degree to service dog for attending every one of his owner's classes. I guess you could say this dog's excitement was through the roof. Hello, my Jack and Jackarinas. Welcome back to EmKay. My name is Jack the Jack's back, and today we're going to look at some things that have nothing to do with me. That's right, stuff that is actually interesting. Oh, let's go! A building in Times Square stripped of advertisements. Look at this ideal world where no one can be influenced. Looks, not gonna lie, looks actually a lot more boring. The giant huntsman spider. Again, Australia. Oh god, how big is this thing gonna be on my screen? Okay. Oh no, I hate this. Hate you. I know it's okay, they're allowed to live in your house rent-free because they just eat all the bugs for you, and they don't actually make cobwebs, they literally just hunt things down like your little pet dog. But the legs, I hate the legs. Tom Cruise on Burj Khalifa without any cables and shoes. Tom, sir, mate, how are you still alive throughout all your life? All he's missing is a slightly stronger than planned breeze, an overplanned swing of the leg, and whoop, there you go. Sometimes, if the heat and humidity are high, corn can be infected by a fungus that causes the kernels to expand and become the delicious delicacy known as huitlacoche. Nailed it, don't even bother correcting me, it's definitely the correct way to say it. This is eaten, usually as a filling, in quesadillas and other tortilla-based foods, and in soups. Whoa, jeez, no, what? It's stuff like this that really makes me wonder how humanity has survived, but then also, it's through this kind of trial and error that I feel has enabled humanity to survive. Colin Farrell's stunning transformation to penguin for the new The Batman movie. Alright, but if he ain't tap dancing at least once in the movie, I'm not seeing it. Sidestep the Batman with your tap dancing skills. In 1992, 24-year-old Chris McCandless, what is that name? McCandless' emaciated body was found by moose hunters after he left society to live in an abandoned bus in the wilds of Alaska. He lived on squirrels, mushrooms, and berries for 113 days before accidentally eating toxic potato seeds. Ah, damn, dude, that's kind of sad, really. It would be nice to be able to freely live off the grid like this, but also I like having access to medical care. Bob Fletcher took care of the farms of 3 Japanese-American families while they were interned during World War II. He kept their farms running and paid their taxes and mortgages. Fletcher rejected the trend of exclusion and was shot at for supporting them. After the war, Fletcher continued to help the families. Thanks, Bob, for reminding us that excusing our grandparents for their slight racism because that's how things were back then is a really poor excuse. Dutch supermarket chain opened slower chat checkouts in an effort to combat loneliness among the elderly. Yeah, not surprised that the person serving at that checkout is also slightly old. In 2002, Eminem had the #1 movie at the box office, 8 Mile, the #1 Billboard album, the album Eminem, and the #1 single, Lose Yourself, all at the same time. That's easy. I could do that. 4-clawed lobster caught off the coast of Yarmouth, Nova Scotia. Yo, that ain't a lobster anymore. That's a frickin' Pokemon. 100 years of breed improvement. Look, I don't mean to be mean on the inbred, but I genuinely think these dogs were only bred to help make kindergartners feel better about their attempts at drawing dogs. Ever walked down a foresty footpath and wondered if someone was watching you? Well, you were wrong. It's something. Did you know Finland uses the day fine system, meaning that speeding fines are based on your daily salary. This can lead to incredibly large fines. In 2002, a Nokia executive was fined the equivalent of $103,000 for going 45 in a 30 zone on his motorcycle. On one hand, this is amazing. Please apply this to everywhere. On the other hand, I see so many people trying to find tax loopholes to say they only earn $20,000 a year. Japanese ice cream manufacturer Akagi Nikyo once made a 60-second commercial publicly apologizing for having to raise the price of its popsicle from 60 yen to 70 yen for the first time in 25 years. The commercial, in which the president of the company as well as the staff bowed to the viewers and showed their remorse, ran on national TV. Damn, if that's not one way to make customers feel special, I don't know what is. Also, like, 70 yen is like 70 cents Australian, which is like, what, 50 cents American? Which of course we can all agree is far too expensive for an ice cream. According to an index developed in 2015, the Earth is not the most habitable planet discovered in the universe. Kepler 442 1902b, a rocky exoplanet 1,206 light-years from Earth, has a rating of 0.836. Earth is at 0.829.
Hell yeah, let's go over there and destroy it. Kepler think us what's better than us? Huh? We'll take you down 7 pegs. Come on, bring it. I'ma spray so much deodorant around your Antarctic.
A pencil store in Tehran, Iran. I'm sure it is, but that does not look organized at all. A man only survived the 1902 Mount Pelée eruption that killed 30,000 people because he'd been thrown in jail the day before, and his cell was partially underground. It had thick stone walls, a bomb-proof magazine, and a small slit for breathing with no other windows. Lesson learned, children, if you're ever wanting to be a bit more safe around volcanoes, just make sure you commit crimes in the local town area. Spirited Away vibes in Japan. Wow, that's amazing. It's almost as if Spirited Away is based in Japan or something. Kidney stones under the microscope. Well, there you go. That explains why they're painful. In many old buildings throughout the UK, you will find the ancient light sign placed under windows. As per English property law, it gives the property owner the right to light received through and from the window. The law states that windows that have been used for light for 20 years or more cannot be obstructed by any new building, wall, or tree. I mean, that's cool. I feel like architecturally, aesthetically, you could do something so much more appealing than big letters. Stonehenge Man. This is a forensic reconstruction of a Neolithic man born about 5,500 years ago and buried in a long barrow near Stonehenge before the circle was ever erected. Oh, no thank you. He looks far too modern. I'm sorry. Time traveler. Hello. Hi. Super Mario is named after real-life businessman Mario Segal, who was renting out a warehouse to Nintendo. After Nintendo fell far behind on rent, Segal did not evict them, but gave them a second chance to come up with the money. Nintendo succeeded and named their main character after him. Wow, this guy basically saved their company from falling under, and they honored him. Makes sense, he's represented as someone who's dealing with other people's schmidt all the time. This is what $20 million looks like under a mattress. Well, you can't just post a photo like that and not expect half of us to go to our mattress right now and check if there's something like this under it. Back in 2017, a 10-year-old Florida girl fought off an alligator attack by sticking her 2 fingers up the 9-foot-long beast's nose, which forced the animal to open its mouth to breathe. As it did so, the little girl freed her leg and escaped. She had learned the trick from Gatorland. Well, there you go, Gatorland. That's some free advertising for you. In 1990, a panel of the windscreen on British Airways Flight 5390 fell out at 17,000 feet, causing the cockpit to decompress and its captain to be sucked halfway out of the aircraft. The crew held onto him for more than 20 minutes as the co-pilot made an emergency landing. The pilot made a full recovery. Okay, this is insane, but also I want to question both the sources of these images. This is the 90s, cell phone cameras weren't really a thing. Who has the time in this event to just take a photo of this happening? And who is above the plane to take a photo as it's descending? Okay, I'm an idiot. I've just realized, of course, the top image has got to be a recreation from a TV show. Frank Rocky Feigl, January 27th, 1868 to March 24th, 1947. The inspiration for Popeye the Sailor Man. Wow, even with the terrible image quality, you can still easily make out who it is. Front of the pumpkin, back of the pumpkin. What do you get? You get a scared little bitch. That's what you get, Luigi, you little suck. This baby barn owl photographed in mid-run. Oh, it's so fluffy. Seriously, looks like a grown barn owl that's forgotten to grab a towel for its bubble bath. Usher personally approached T-Pain to tell him, "You ruined music by popularizing auto-tune BS." This sent T-Pain into depression for 4 years due to the fact his idol told him he killed music. Damn, how do you respond to that? Being told you're trash by the person you admire most. The first black girl to attend an all-white school in the United States, being teased and taunted by her white male peers at Charlotte's Harry Harding High School in 1957. Just a nice casual reminder that if you bully and harass someone just because of who they are, this is how you'll be remembered in history. The type of people we're glad to mostly no longer have in this world. Squid Game creator Don't Kill Me, Hwang Dong-hyuk wrote the show in 2009, but was rejected by studios for 10 years. He once had to stop writing the script and sell his $675 laptop due to money struggles. Today, it's #1 in 90 countries and set to become the most watched show in Netflix history. It's so astounding reading these stories, because on one hand, do you really think it would have been as successful successful if it was made 10 years ago? Like, in a harsh way, it was a good thing he suffered for the last 10 years and couldn't get it made so that it could be made now. New life lesson! The worst things that happen to you can sometimes be for the best. That kind of quote can definitely not ever be taken out of context. Nope. What's a science fact that makes you sound unhinged if you say it out loud? We'll start. Sharks existed before trees. It is impossible for a squirrel to die from a fall. Ah, I see you're a Mark Rober fan too. Statue of Poseidon in Spain. Yo, I know that like it's not their actual religion, but can we please get this built in Hawaii with their huge ass waves? Seriously, could you imagine how cool that would be? It would look exactly like this photo, but it would look bigger in a way. Black sanitation workers on strike, fighting for better working conditions. In Memphis, 1968. I feel it says a lot about the fragility of these people when these black people protesting require an entire local army to surround them. Then you have Fred and Sales here just wanting to be a part of a group.
No one invites me to the pub, so this is the next best thing.
When skydiver Joan Murray's parachute failed, she approached the ground at 80 miles, 128 kilometers per hour, landing on a mound of fire ants. The shock from being stung over 200 times by the ants released a surge of adrenaline that kept her heart beating and allowed her to survive. Okay, I need someone who's like heavily into statistics to really just map out for me the statistical possibility of this happening for someone. Where my data thoughts at? Come on. Anthony Irvin, a swimmer who won a gold medal at the 2000 Olympics, retired at 22, began abusing drugs, at one point being hardly able to get off a sofa for days on end. But in 2011, he got back into swimming. At the 2016 Olympics, at age 35, he became the oldest swimmer to ever win a gold medal. Okay, but imagine how frustrating and relieving it must be to have received that. Like at 35, you've just proven you're basically a prodigy when it's come to swimming this entire time. I bet he's constantly kicking himself at the thought of what he could be if he didn't get into drugs. This diver dude just found an 11th century crusader sword in the sea near Israel. Lies, that's just a bunch of shells he glued together. I see his facade. The African Renaissance Monument in Senegal, the tallest statue in Africa. What the hell? I have never heard or seen of this before. This is insane. I mean, I know it's not the entire country, but could you just imagine the entirety of Africa being an actual first world country? If Earth was a Minecraft server, then the spawn point of Africa would basically be the look of Wakanda in the Marvel universe. The world's last Stone Age tribe lives on the North Sentinel Island in Indian Ocean, and they are known for defending their tribe against all visitors. They have been living in isolation for 60,000 years. There is genetically a direct line between them and their Neolithic ancestors. Oh, hello again, people who like to eat missionaries. Man takes selfie when the volcano behind him erupts. He made it out alive. Oh dear God, you can see the look on his face. That is clearly someone who was smiling, now turning into abrupt dread. I converted a van into a home and now work remotely and travel full-time.
I like it!
But also as someone who hates cramped, confined spaces.
I hate it!
Saudi Arabia is planning to install solar-powered laser lights to help lost travelers find water. Never thought I'd live to see the day where I live in a world that has actual waypoints for you. In 2018, 26-year-old missionary John Chow tried to convert his killers after attempting contact with the world's most isolated people in the Indian Ocean. The night before his death, he wrote to his family, "I hope this isn't my last note, but if it is, don't retrieve my body." Look, not the most ethical way to deal with Bible thumpers knocking at your door, but okay. I can only imagine the theories and beliefs the people on Sentinel Island have when they see helicopters and boats flying by. In Morocco in 1955, a pregnant woman was scheduled for a C-section, but fled the hospital after watching another woman die during the procedure. She was in pain for a few days after, but then the pain suddenly disappeared. So she went on with her life. 46 years later, she was diagnosed with a tumor. It turned out to be the calcified baby still inside her. Hey look, there's the pic for proof. See that, children? See what happens when you drink too much milk? The back room of the Natural History Museum. Wow! Do you need so many copies? I'm going to believe these were all dying of natural causes. That's the reality I'm setting upon myself. This is American virologist Dr. Jonas Salk, 1914 to 1995. In the 1950s, he decided not to patent his polio vaccine so that it would be affordable for millions of people. He lost out on roughly $7 billion, but saved millions of lives. Good guy Jonas. Later to be reincarnated as 3 young men in a band. The little box that this man, Manhattan Project physicist Harold Agnew, is smiling and holding is the nuclear core of the primary bomb, Fat Man, that destroyed Nagasaki. You really just need to take a moment and look at this image. Just a casual dude in a casual set of clothing, holding what looks like a basket full of milk bottles. Both him and that thing being responsible for the deaths of thousands. I don't know, with his partial kill record, you'd expect him to be wearing something a bit more regal and egotistical. When Mel Gibson started his movie, Passion of the Christ, he failed to attract any big studios to produce it. With all doors closed, he put in $45 million of his own money for the production and relied on a small-scale advertising campaign and promotions by church groups. The movie went on to gross over $475 million worldwide, with Mel getting most of the profits as he was the only producer.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, sorry.
I carved this Hellboy pipe for Ron Perlman and he sent me a photo. That's gonna be by far the best fan appreciation post I've ever seen. What exactly was the sequence of events that led to this?
What? Yo, this is why people still believe in Bigfoot. I mean, I'd like to hear the bird's case for how this happened, but I don't think it has a leg to stand on.
1914 Life magazine illustration predicting the fashion in the future.
Let's see how accurate they are. Well, they're certainly right about the less clothing. Look, I mean, I'm not against the body paint. Really does put into perspective how stupid our thoughts and ideas are going to be of the future.
It's fan art time, and today's work we're giving a shout out to is Silberfarben. Here are all their Silberfarben. EmKay! Some EmKay bird they made a while ago.
Oh, I don't know how to feel. This is unique. Fingers as a bird's mouth. I don't know if I want this. I think you did it. You have broken me. Wow. Thank you, Silberfarben, but yeah, okay. It's good artwork. I'm just traumatized by the thought of it actually existing.
Now, if you yourself have your own artwork you'd like to share with us,
I challenge you to further destroy my sanity levels.
Post your work in the EmKay subreddit. Now, that is the end of today's video, so thank you as always for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed your time, subscribe if you are not already, it is free to do so. And until I see you for the next time, my name has been Jack. You can say hello to me via the link in the description below. You have been lovely to ramble with today, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!